Hey, what's up? It's your girl Punana, and we're back with another episode of She is Plus Size Beauty Sundays. And we have the beautiful Charvelle. Yes! How it's going, girl?
So good. I'm so happy to be here.
I finally got you in here. I've been trying to get you in here for a long time, girl.
Oh my goodness, that warms my heart. When you told me that at the party, I was like, what? Me?
I know.
Little me? You want me?
I know most people be shocked because, you're just like one of the legendary girls. You're one of the old school girls. It's like plus size modeling. I know they have all the new girls and things now.
Yeah.
But you one of the girls.
And I never thought of it like that. But it's like I just rounded out a decade of modeling, and I'm like, yeah, I was really in there. I was in there for a minute, and I was everywhere for a bit, and I forgot. I forgot, especially with the pandemic and all that. It was just like, times were hard. And I was just like, when you told me that, I was like, I went to my husband and I was like, she said I'm an OG.
You are.
She said I'm an OG. And I was like, I didn't think of it, but I am.
I think I was like for a casting for LA Fashion Week. Jesus Christ. And you had walked in, and me and my best friend, Joy, I was like, hey, I know her. I was like, that's Shar. That's Shar.
Yeah.
And she was like, who? And I was like, oh, girl, right there.
Yeah.
You had came in, like, stumping, like, talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, she's one of the OG plus size models. She does this.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy. I'm so over the LA runway world right now.
I am over it.
It has burnt me out, but I remember, I remember walking in. Maybe it was you. It might have been then, and you were like, I follow you. I love you.
I was. Yes. I was like, I follow you. I love you.
I was like, me? Okay, thank you. Because I never see myself in that light, which is one of my downsides, but it's just it does feel good. So thank you so much.
So I'm so fascinated with what you do.
Yeah.
So I know you want to share the world because I know most of our interviews are more intimate. Go ahead, let the people know what's your hometown and your occupation.
Okay, so my hometown's a little tricky. I claim LA, not as my hometown, but I've lived here the longest.
LA.
Technically, I've lived here the longest I've lived anywhere. But I was born and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland area.
Okay, Maryland.
DMV, let's
DMV
go.
area. I love the DMV area.
It's popping. But I lived there for 9 years, and then I went to Connecticut for 9 years.
Okay.
And then I went to college in Boston, and then I made my way out here.
Oh, girl, this is giving. That's what the pearls is. The Connecticut, the conservative,
the New England.
Yes.
No, but I call myself a mermaid, so it's like a lot of my stuff is mermaid themed, pearls, iridescents. Like I just love that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, pearls is for the girls. That's what my granny used to say. My
Oh,
goodness.
but career.
Yes.
So you can't pin me down. I'm a multi-hyphenate. Okay, so I moved to LA specifically to act. Then I fell into the modeling along the way very quickly.
Yeah.
But I have a journalism background and a writing background, so I'm also a writer and a host, and now I'm also a tarot reader and a substitute teacher.
Okay, tarot reader.
She's just out here, honey. Yes.
Look, I get it. You got to make your coin out here. And
yeah.
When I tell people if you move to California, I'll be like, you're going to be the jack of all trades. You're going to be doing
you have to
1, 2, 3, 4 jobs.
Yeah.
You might be out here scamming. You might be doing fraud for a short period of time. You might be doing fraud for a little bit of time, but it's only until the other stuff pops off.
Right. And if you can make it to the other side, then the reward is very sweet.
Oh my God. Being like in the DMV area and like, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Education. So high school and college. What was that like for you?
So high school was fine. I was like the nerd. No, I wasn't the nerd, but I was a straight A student, made honor roll every single quarter. Like,
all right.
I loved school. I loved learning, but I was also artistic at the same time. So I actually went to 2 high schools simultaneously. So I went to a general education public school for English, math, whatever. And then I got bused to an arts academy in the afternoon where I did creative writing and acting. And so I basically was in school from like 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And I had enough credits to graduate by sophomore year because of that. But I didn't think I was ready. And then I went to college in Boston at Emerson College.
Nice. Shout out to Emerson.
Hey, Emerson. So I went there, but I picked there specifically because they have an LA program. And so I knew I went on a family vacation in high school to LA, and I was like, this is my city.
Yeah.
This is where I belong. And my mom was like, slow down. I was like, I'm going to go to Pepperdine.
She was like, I'm going to go to Pepperdine. I'm going to live the California life, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to be famous, by the time I graduate. And it was just like this whole thing. But she was like, slow down. I was actually really sick in high school. I had a lot of health problems. And
Yeah,
she was like, you need to stay closer to home so that you can see your doctors and check in if things get crazy when you're on your own.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fair. So I picked Boston because it was still like 2 hours away, but close enough where I could get home when I need to. But also because it had the LA program. So I did that my last semester. I
Yeah.
came out here January 2013. I interned at Ryan Seacrest Productions as a blog writer for his website. I worked at DSW in Hollywood. I took my last 2 classes and I found an apartment and I kept my job and I walked in graduation and then I was like, bye.
You was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Love y'all. I gotta go.
You knew what it was. So
I'm like, you knew this was short term.
yeah, they're like, you're sure? Even to this day, like I just came back and they were like, are you sure you don't want to do what you do in New York a little bit closer? And I'm like, no. I'm not a New Yorker.
You know how parents are. They're like, don't leave me.
I know. And my sister too. I'm just like, I love you, but I can't be here.
Right. I got to go breathe so I can come back and then we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So is it identity? Like growing up in like different high schools and then college, were you always a curvy girl?
I was always the big girl. I was always the tall girl. Looking back, of course, I see pictures and I'm like, dang, I was not fat. And then like in my head, I was like, I'm the big fat girl in the class, but I never was. But yeah, I think also because I've always kind of had this personality and this energy. And it's like, when you're a kid, that's kind of intimidating. And like, I was friends with everybody, but nobody was hitting on me. Nobody was crushing on me. Or at least, nobody was hitting me up to take me out or anything. I didn't get my first kiss until I was 21. And yeah, so it's just like,
it's okay. Join the club.
Yeah. The late bloomers.
Yeah, it's okay. The late bloomers.
I don't mind.
We wasn't fast like you girls out there. Okay.
Right. Yeah. We know who you are. But yeah, so I think that also impacted me in terms of how I saw myself. And, also like it's a generational thing. Like my mom, my grandmas, all my aunts, they were constantly dieting. They were constantly trying these different ways to lose weight. They were never good enough. So when you see that, you're like, okay, then I guess I'm not good enough, And my dad's a martial artist. So I grew up in Taekwondo, like almost every day, teaching it, taking
whooping ass.
Yeah, black belt over here. But, to some degree, it made him feel like, am I failing because she's gaining weight, but she's athletic. So he started being really strict about my diet and my exercise and stuff like that. So that also, messes with your head. And I know, now I know he was just doing what he thought he needed to do as a dad. Yeah. But it's just like, that really messed me up for a while. But I think when I got to college and I was on my own and I didn't have, these women that I respected talking down to themselves so much, I was just like, oh, I can do this. And like people were like, are you a model? Like, are you going to get model? Like, are you going to
yeah.
And I was like, me? What are you talking about? And Emerson did this thing called Emerson's Next Top Model. And so I did that. I think it was my junior year and I got second runner up. First runner up because that's second place. So yeah, and I was just like, oh, maybe I could do this. And my best friend and I were like, let's just take pictures of ourselves. And then I had friends in New York who were like, I have a fashion show. Will you come? And so it just started trickling down. Yeah. And I didn't think it was a thing until I moved to LA and I was at DSW and a makeup artist came in and he had just got off a campaign with Plus Model Magazine.
Work. Shout out to Plus Model
Magazine. Yes. And so he came up at my cash register and we're just checking out. And he's like, are you a model? And I was like, I dabble. I take some pictures.
Like I do a little things,
I can do something.
Yeah.
And he was just like, girl, plus size modeling is on the rise. I'm gonna need you to get it. And he's like, get into it. And he's like, download this app. Download this app and just check out what they have. They have casting sometimes. And sure enough, within 2 weeks, it was a casting for Posh LA Fashion Week.
Posh.
And I went and I remember my friend drove me. I didn't have a car. And he drove me and it was a long line. And I was like, oh, geez. And I did it. And then I got called back. And I was like, I don't even know what a callback is. Yeah. But I was first in line because I had to go to work. And I was just like, okay. I was like, I don't know if this means they like me or they don't like me. And before I knew it, I opened the show. I was opening the show and I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. And
I love that for you.
It's just such a small community too. So it's like I met all the models, all the people, the bloggers at that time. And it's like everybody just added me on Facebook, and within that, that just started to snowball, like, these jobs and different things that started happening.
Oh my god, ain't it crazy? Like, you start doing something else smaller and just things just kinda trickle on
They
and
really
things.
blossom.
Girl, because I
Yeah.
started doing just in my friend's online boutique, and it just
Yeah,
kinda, like,
and that's how you got
trickled.
in?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, girl. It just somebody else said yes, and then they
Yes.
was like, "Oh, I like your walk," and, like, things like that,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay, maybe I could do this."
Yeah. No, well, that's the craziest thing is, like, I think back to, like, little Charvelle, and I was constantly, like, designing clothes.
Huh?
I was watching Next Top Model and being like, "I really wanna do this," but thinking,
Yes.
like, I couldn't. My dad at one point was like, "Why don't you?" But I was like, "Well, I'd be the plus size girl, and there's only 1 per season,"
Yeah.
and now look at me. I was almost on that show twice in my lifetime,
Oh
and so
my
it's like, I was
god.
almost there, and I don't think I needed to be there because I hate being produced on reality shows and
They're
stuff.
like,
I'm
"Do
like,
this and say
yeah,
this," and
I'm
you're
like,
like, "What?"
"No, I don't want to." So, I think that's a blessing in disguise, that I didn't get on there in the final runs, but, yeah, it's just so crazy to think back. It's like there was all these hints and these, like, little signs that things were gonna happen, and I didn't
Mm.
see them as such, and now it's like,
I know, right? Shout out to America's Next Top Model. Shout out to Tyra
"Hey,
Banks. I
Tyra."
think that's for every girl that, modeling, we
Well,
watched that show religiously
yes.
and we were like, "Okay, I knew not to do that."
Yeah, for real. It was an intense, yeah, thing to watch. Like, I go back and I watch it now and I'm like, "Oh, this is a bit toxic." But it's like,
You know what? A lot of the girls say that. Like,
yeah.
I look at because it'd be some episodes where I was like, "Wow." Like
Yes.
like the hair stuff, I was like, "No!
Yes.
God, no." Like,
I
"No, she's
know.
in pain. She's crying."
The
Like
tears. Oh my goodness, yes. But it's like I saw one clip recently on TikTok going viral. It's like this girl that's maybe a size 4, 6,
yeah.
and they're like, "How does it feel to be a plus size girl?"
Oh, that I seen that video.
I was like,
And and it
"What?"
was crazy because people were like, "That's crazy that they're saying, like, she's the only plus size
Yeah.
girl," and I said and I think I commented, I said, "You guys, it was
A different time.
2003.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We were not even they were not looking at us, and yes, they thought we were that big, okay? You were big if you were that
Right.
size." That's
Yeah.
sad
It's
that they
so
did it, but
sad. Yeah.
2003, they were not checking for us. They were
Man.
making us huge, like,
Sad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you were 12 and 14, and they were like,
You're
"You're
a
a plus
whale.
size, and you're a
Yeah.
whale,"
And
and
Tyra's like, "You need to go on a weight loss plan." I was
oh!
like, "Okay, my bad."
The challenges.
The challenges, yeah.
So I know you said, like, earlier the challenges of you, like, being sick, and I think I
Mhm.
came
Yeah.
across one of your videos
Yeah.
of skin, and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god."
yeah, yeah.
I'm
So,
glad you said that because there's some women struggle with that. My cousin
yes.
struggles with that.
Yes, it's like, and it's funny now that I'm like on Reddit, especially, it's like I'm part of these communities and I'm like, I did not have that community back then, but also I didn't realize how frequent and like normal it is
Mm.
so I have chronic eczema,
Yeah.
but it also is paired with diabetes, so I'm diabetic.
Oh, I
And
had no idea.
yeah, and so but then my skin will get so bad that I have to be hospitalized
Oh my
sometimes,
god.
and they don't know why. I've been on so many experimental treatments. I've been on
Mhm.
so many, like, cut this out, do this, and, yeah, and I've lost modeling jobs because they're like, "It's too much to edit out your eczema,"
Oh,
or the makeup on your eczema doesn't look right, like, so I've lost modeling gigs because of it.
damn it.
And, yeah, so it's tough, but it's like that's why I wanna be more vocal about it because I'm like, "This is normal."
Mhm.
People have skin
Mhm.
ailments all the time. There's psoriasis, there's rosacea, there's so many different things, and it's like, I know, like, vitiligo is having its moment, but it's like, "Okay, what else?" Like, it doesn't, like, it's more.
They're hiring girls with more with, like, VLI,
Yes.
what I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm seeing, and so I'm like, "Okay, so what else can we showcase?"
I
Anybody
think
want a little eczema?
it's like when the it girl. I mean, shout out to Whitney. I think
Yeah,
that's her
Whitney,
name.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I guess it's like ever since she came out on
Yeah,
the scene, and it's like all the girls with vitiligo and stuff now.
yeah.
I like that they're showing
No, I
diversity and things,
love it.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
important.
show all the other girls too
Yes, yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
feel that. I feel
Yeah,
that.
and I know it takes time and it's gonna happen, but it's just, yeah, I just look forward to maybe being more of an advocate for models and actresses and anybody with eczema.
Oh, you're such
And
a I love that. I love that
yeah,
it's just like the challenge and you're the person standing up for that.
yeah, because it's like I felt so alone. So if I can
Mhm.
make somebody else feel less alone, that's I feel part of my purpose here. Yeah.
It's so messed up how they take you off of campaigns and things like that because of things that's something
Yeah,
that's out of
out of
your
my control.
control.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really painful because it's like, well, I actually had one client that was like, "You're the reason our clothes aren't selling. Nobody wants to see you in our clothes."
Oh my god.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that's really the downfall of my confidence in modeling is like that started maybe I think that was like 5 years ago, and so with that little seedling, I started to believe like, "Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not a model.
You know
I'm
what? And
not pretty."
these are the same people I remember back in the day before they start hiring plus size models.
Mhm.
They would literally hire a regular model and then stuff her pants or
Yes.
like pin the stuff
Padding.
or and then
Yeah.
padding. And I'm just like, well, just what? Like what?
It's sick. It really is sick. Yeah, it's very annoying. And it's like when I first got in, like I was so I'm still on the smaller side,
Mhm.
I'll own up to that. Like I get it. This is just who I am. I'm a size 14 for the most part, leaning on the 16 side, but sometimes I lean on the 12 side. It's
Yeah,
just
it
like
depends on the
it's a
material.
body. It's a body.
Mhm.
And so it's like I when I started, that hourglass 14 was standard. And now it's like and I love it. The standard is more 2X, 3X women,
Yeah.
And so it's like we're seeing like Gia who was here and Erica
Yeah.
Lauren, and it's like more of these women that are a little bit more voluptuous, and I love that, but it's like, don't forget about me.
Come on, don't forget about
Yeah,
me.
like,
Us girls over here.
and I think, like, some people are like, "Oh, you're mid-size," and it's like, "Okay, that's fair,"
What the
but
fuck
I
is
still
that?
have problems finding clothes. I still can't go to just every store.
The inclusivity, like, the
Yeah.
inclusiveness, because now I find out in our community, and I'm glad there's certain people on TikTok have been, talking about it. It's
Mhm.
the division
Yes.
within our community, in the
Yeah.
plus size community. "You're too small.
Yep.
You're too big. No, it's only for these big girls," and I'm just like, "Well, we're all fucking big." Like,
Yeah.
if we go out in the
I've
real world, we're
gotten
all
a
fucking
lot
big.
of that,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
I've been
so
told that, "You're too short, you're too small." And I'll be
mhm.
like, "What?
I've gotten too tall. Isn't that it's just like
What?"
it's so subjective that it's comical. At that point, it's just like, okay, so it's just like you really have to go in it, and that's what I do for my mental health is going into auditions and jobs and really understanding that everybody wants something different,
Yes.
and just because they don't want me doesn't mean the next person won't want me.
That is honestly that
And
is true.
so I even like with self tapes now, it's like that's the thing. And so for auditioning, and I film it and I just look in the mirror and I'm like, if not this one, the next one and we're on to it and we move on,
Having
you
that
know?
mentality,
Yeah.
how is it a day in the life of Charvelle?
So a day in the life is, I don't know, it's just never predictable. It's always something, that's the nature of multi hyphenate life. But it's like, I wake up and I like to start my day with a good breakfast. I mean, I'm
Yep. Good
diabetic,
breakfast.
so like maintaining my glucose and making sure that I'm, eating and being healthy is important.
Yes, of
So
course.
yeah, so I usually do that, and I have my little dog, so, he's always with me. And
Aw.
so we might go for a walk or I might go to the gym, but I'm always on my phone. I'm always on my phone. I
Yeah.
do some social media management too. I totally forgot. So it's like I do that. Like the list is too long.
I don't know how you're doing it, like
And so it's like I'm doing social media management. I'm doing my own content and editing. I'm doing, influencing marketing for other people and myself. And then I'm also trying to fit in writing scripts, producing scripts, doing auditions, making
Jesus.
sure my headshots are up to date. It's just the list is never ending. That's why like every day is different because it's like this grab bag. I just wake up and I'm like, what's on the
You're like, "Okay,
docket?
I'm doing this today. I'm
Yes.
grabbing these 2. So I got 3 bags. I gotta go."
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, let's see what we can do with what can we get done in this 24-hour span.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
including, cooking, cleaning, trying to be a good wife, a good sister, a good daughter. And it's just like, whoo, life is lifing. Life be lifing.
Doing all those careers, because trust me, I know when you're trying to, like, multitask, especially
Yeah.
when you have to edit things, because
Yes.
like, editing, you have to have patience and just sitting there, and sometimes when
Mhm.
I'm editing, I don't like for people to be around me, I like to be
Oh, yeah. In the
closed in so
zone.
I'm in the zone. Like, I might
Mhm.
have something on TV while I'm editing because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need
yeah.
something on the
Yeah.
screen, but
Yeah.
doing all those careers, baby, because 'cause you're doing it. Shout out to you for doing it. Your passion. as
Yeah.
an entrepreneur.
Yeah. The real end goal for me is to be is the acting. The acting
Mhm.
is still the main priority, and I'm trying to bring that more to the forefront. I've been the past 2 years especially, like, auditioning more for commercials and TV and
Yes.
film, and also, studying more. So it's like I found my acting coach, the one that, like, I feel like I can produce my best work with, and
Oh,
so
I
I'm
love that
studying
for
under her.
you.
She actually is just opening her own studio over in, like, the Burbank area,
Mhm.
an acting studio, I think it's
Yay!
called. But yeah, so I'm gonna be on staff, and I'm gonna take classes and
I
just
love
keep
that for
growing
you.
my craft. But yeah, being like I would say in TV and movies consistently is the main goal, but also writing.
Mm.
So I've been writing a lot. I transitioned from more like poetry and prose, and now I'm doing a lot of scripts. And I have a lot of story ideas and just trying to develop those as well and sell them. So I have a few like pitch competition submissions right now. I just produced a short film that I wrote this summer. So that
Oh.
should be coming out. It's gonna be called Sweetness.
Yay!
It's a digital series, so we have the pilot ready to go this January,
I'm
and,
excited.
yeah, I'm very excited. It's a cute tale of a sugar baby system, a little sugar baby thing gone awry. So it's like a dramedy meets suspense, and so we see how this man kind of takes this woman and molds her into this ideal woman, but then she loses her identity in the process.
Oh my goodness.
Um
Writers, I feel like everybody has their autistic way of communicating to the world.
Mhm.
Writers, it's like literally up here, but then to have that artistry to put it on paper and
Yeah.
then like people can read it and just like
Yeah.
see it is out of this world. Like what is her name? I think I watched her. I binge watched her show again. It was on HBO. It was called Girls.
Yes.
And
Yeah, yeah, Lena. Yeah,
Lena
that,
Dunham.
I just binge watched it too, actually.
She is insane. Like I
Yeah.
love her, but she is so her mind thinking
Crazy.
that I was like,
Yes.
she be saying what we really want to say, and she
Mhm.
portray that show is out of this world.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, these white people crazy." I was like, "That's the guy she wants to be with?"
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Adam, right?
interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was
But
handsome as hell,
he
but
played the hell out of that role.
oh
Oh
my
my gosh. I
god.
was like, "I don't like you." I don't like you for my
She was
girl.
very forwardly funny as a writer,
Yes.
and I like how she explained each
Yes.
episode
No,
afterwards.
she has one of my very most favorite episodes of TV of all time, and I think it was the last season. But no, yeah. So I actually was first published in the 5th grade. Like I've been a writer. Like that is something my
I
parents
love that.
really promoted and cultivated within me was like whatever you want to do and pursue, do it. And so
Yay.
it's like I've never been told in my house really that that's not for me.
Mhm.
Except for when I was like, "I'm gonna be an actor." And my mom's like, "That's not practical. We've been writing for a long time. Let's do that."
We are a family of
And I
writers,
was
young
like,
lady.
"I'll do both. Like, I'll do both." And so I was like, I am grateful for that upbringing because I have friends who are like, "I don't know what to do with my life because nobody's ever been like, do this or what do you like or
Mm.
cultivate anything." And it's like, I've always known. Like when I tell you I would be 3 fantasizing about like being on stage and
You too?
singing to the masses. I'm
Yeah.
not a singer anymore, but I was like, I'm gonna be a singer and an ice skater, a figure skater. I was always a performance-based dreamer. I
Oh my
knew I was meant to be
god.
performing and entertaining in some fashion. And it's just evolved, but it's still so much a part of me.
My mom, she couldn't control it anymore,
Yeah.
because she knew I watched a whole bunch of TV and a whole bunch of cartoons and, like, things. She knew I needed to be in front of the camera or something,
Mhm.
because I wouldn't let go. She tried to put me in the medical field during high school, and I was like, "Mom, this is
Mm-mm.
fucking boring." I told her that. I slapped the book on the table. I said, "Mom, this is boring. I
Yeah.
can't." And she was like, you don't wanna be LVN or nothing or like" and I said, "Mom, I will be a writer before I do this shit. Like, I just
Yeah.
can't." And she was
Mhm.
like, "There's no changing you. Just do what you wanna do."
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Just
I
do
think I
it.
moved out when I was, like, 18, went to
Yeah.
college and things, and she cried. I think I was the only kid she cried.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah,
like,
my mom
"Don't
still
leave,
cries.
like, don't
Yeah.
leave." Oh my god,
Uh,
that is such amazing how you are multitasking all your jobs and just,
yeah.
like, your careers, and you're still making it happen and still being, this
Yeah.
family person, this
Just
everything.
trying.
Career challenges. What was your biggest career challenge?
For me, I think it's my own mentality, my own fears of
Mhm.
I have I have overcome a fear. This past year, I worked really heavily on this fear of being seen and being known. And so, like, my mantra right now is I know I'm ready to be seen. I
Yes.
know I'm ready to be known.
Mhm.
And it's like, I wanted it, but then part of my subconscious was constantly telling me, like, I'm scared or
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
no,
it's
no,
that
no, I'm
fear.
not worthy, And so I shut her up with a quickness. Thanks, therapy. And
Yes.
so that was a huge obstacle for me is being
Mhm.
my own hater, right? And like
Yeah.
not putting myself in the right situations or submitting myself and believing myself enough to do the things I really want to be doing when I wanted to be doing them. But also in the industry, I've had a few obstacles because when I first started, plus size was still getting started. So it's like
Yeah, it
I
was.
worked for organizations that didn't would pay the straight size models, but not the plus size models.
Mhm.
And I've been in situations where, my feet are almost bloody because I'm working in conditions where I have to be in 6-inch heels on concrete floors in warehouses with no AC, no fans,
Just sweating and
just
standing up.
sweating, wet, and expected to change through 150 garments in, 4 hours. And it's just like,
It's insane,
it's
and it has the
insane.
buckles and the buttons and
Yeah.
oh my god, I can just imagine.
It was crazy those first few years. I was like, "Is this normal?" And everybody was like, "Yeah." And so I was just like,
And they're just
"Okay."
like, "Suck it up!" And you're just
Yeah.
like, "I'm in pain."
Literally, I'd just be like, "I don't know if I could come in again because my feet still haven't recovered from your little shoes that you made me stuff my feet
Stuff my
into."
feet in
Yeah.
too, and now my ankles are scarred.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think things are changing and this seems a little bit more okay. I mean, who knows what some little brands are doing, but I'm feeling the shift has happened where it's like models are more respected, they're taken care of,
Mhm.
and I'm grateful for that.
You know what? Because you're one of the OGs, it's like you, Erica
Yeah.
Lauren,
Yeah.
Lorna Litz,
Yeah.
Candace Kelly.
Yeah, all of us.
Like, you
Yeah.
girls were like the girls I used to see on Torrid and things, and I
Yeah.
used to be like in high school. I used to be in high school, like and what's crazy, I worked at Torrid, like,
Yes.
years and back. God,
Yeah.
I would never do that again.
Oh my
But,
god.
like nothing against the company, it was just the people who worked there, they
Mhm.
were
Mhm.
horrible.
Mhm.
But, yes, seeing y'all in high school and the horrid of,
Mhm.
"I have to do school shopping, I have to shop." There
Yeah.
was, like, what, Windsor fashion that we were squeezing
Oh my
into?
gosh,
And
yeah.
then it was like, thank God we had Lane Bryant and, like, Torrid.
Yeah.
Torrid saved my life
Yeah.
as a high schooler coming up. Like,
Oh,
I
I
was
love
like,
that.
"Finally, jeans that fit and things."
Yeah. Yeah.
Seeing y'all on the posters and whatnot, I was
Mhm.
just like, "Yay." I was just like, "Yay." It was inspirational. So that's what I'm
Oh, I love
saying, like,
that.
seeing girls like you, like,
Yeah.
y'all the OGs.
Yeah.
All these other new plus size models, that's fine and dandy. More shout out to y'all. More shout that but let's
You
not
made
forget
it.
about the girls that paved the way. Y'all
Thank
can't forget the girls
you.
that paved the
Yeah.
way to do all this extraordinary social media stuff that y'all be doing now.
Yeah.
They have wore the hard shoes. They have squeezed into things to
Yes.
where now you guys are freely to say, "This don't fit and this hurts. I can't work under these conditions."
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like something had to change, but we endured so that these future models they have it real good.
Girl, they be complaining. They be
I know, they
I
really
don't wanna
do.
be like that person because I know the modeling world can be a little extreme.
Oh yeah.
We have been worked under conditions. But now, girl, they just get on TikTok and be complaining about the most
I'm like, you have
craziest
no
things, and I
idea.
just be like, it's work, right?"
They have no idea what I've been through. It's just so crazy to hear it. And it's just like I had to learn how to do my own makeup so that because they would not pay for a makeup artist. And it's like
Yes.
if I want the job, I gotta learn to do it.
I gotta learn to do it.
I
I
gotta
gotta
learn
learn to
to
do
do
my
it. I
best.
gotta learn to suck it up. I gotta learn to, be my own stylist, be my own wardrobe assistant. It's just like I had to wear all the hats. And I was already a hard worker, but it's just
Mhm.
like now I go to set and they're like, "Oh, you don't have to do that." And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Oh, I'll do that. Like, I'll fold that. I'll take that off your hands. I'll put your shoe on for you." And I'm like, "This is weird.
This is
This is
crazy.
so weird for me because I had to be so independent for so long in the industry."
Oh my god. I
Yeah.
think, being in LA and then trying the modeling scene out here, especially for, like, runway.
Mhm.
So when I went to Italy for, like, Fashion
Ooh,
Week,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hey, yo, it's like a plus size mecca out there. Shout out to Afro.
Really?
I believe it's Afro Fashion Week or
Mhm.
something out there. No, it's, Afro Milano out there.
Okay.
Really dope.
Okay.
I'm used to coming in there with my portfolio and things like that, and I'm like, "No." They were changing the clothes. They were like, "No." I was like, "I have shoes." They was like, "No, we have shoes." It
Mhm.
was like, "No, no, 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 no." We like
Yeah.
they were just so
The shoes,
fascinated. Like
yeah.
they were like, "Oh, the plus size Americans, the Americans." And I was just like, me and my best friend looked at each other and we was like, "What's happening?" Like, what's happening?
Yeah. Isn't that a shame though? That it's like you're just getting treated decently and like as you should and it feels foreign. It feels like, is this right?
Is this
Almost
right?
it's like, am I supposed to be here?
Are
Is
they
this
joking?
are you talking to me?
Like
You talking to me?
so amazing things that you're doing. And
Mhm.
recently I just found out about your newest collaboration, your newest
Mhm.
baby. I'm gonna call it your baby.
Okay.
Live it.
Yes.
You
Well,
gotta tell us about it. I was
okay, we're talking
so
about Livid. So Livid is not my baby, but I am good friends with the parent.
yes, yes.
So my friend Jim Lee, who
Shout out to Jim.
shout out to Jim,
Mm-hmm.
is so devoted to creating quality plus size fashion. And we go back to when I was hustling in downtown in
Mm-hmm.
one of those sweatshops, and he was the assistant, I think, to the owner of the brand. And we just like would lock eyes like, do you hear this man right now? Or like what is happening? Like we would just look at each other. So we kept in touch and then I don't know, something told me to reach out to him. I think it was 2021. And he was like, I've been thinking about you nonstop. He's like, let's get lunch. And I was like, I need money. I'm trying to buy a house. And he
I
was
need
like,
money.
I need a
Mhm.
social media manager. And I know you did that. I did that for Curvy Sense for their first,
Cause you
4 years.
was modeling and stuff for them
I was
too. I
their in-house
remember.
model. I was the in-house
Yes.
model for Curvy Sense, and then I became the social media manager, and then I became a buyer,
Oh
and
my
then I
God,
was
yes.
doing all the styling of the
Shout out
photo
to Curvy
shoots.
Sense.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
Curvy
Curvy Sense.
Sense. So yeah, so I left there, and then I was, job free for about a year, and then so I hit Jim up, and he was like, "I just started my brand, but it needs so much help. Can you please like
Mm.
maybe see what you can do?" And so yeah, I've been working with him now for like almost 2 years, I think. And yeah, it's still a little baby, but she's growing like slowly but steadily, which
I've
I
been
told him
seeing
is
it.
important. I was like, the drastic change you don't want. I was like, I want girls that are quality, that are going to shop and not just look, that,
Mm-hmm.
trust our brand. And we're getting that. It's like all of my influencers are such diehard fans. I love it so much. They're always in the comments like, "Live it is the place to be." And it's
Yes.
just like,
I'm gonna be tagging it next, like, 11 is where it
yes,
needs to be.
yes. And
So,
so, yeah, so shout out to Livid Apparel. Give
mhm.
us a follow. We just hit 5K. I'm
Woo!
excited. But yeah, and we collaborate with the Plus Bus a lot, and we try and
Yes.
sponsor. Like he is so adamant on being in the community and not just grabbing money from the community, which is I think so important for me because that's what I've experienced before.
Yes.
And I was like, his heart is in it, his passion is there. It's just him, his parents, literally, and like he just has a bunch of sewers and he makes everything in-house. He
Oh
designs
my
in-house.
God, that's
He is
amazing.
dedicated to ethically creating fashion as well. And so it's like the headbands he sells are from scraps, it's like recycling a lot of stuff. And so that's also partly why I love working for him is like the heart is there, the ethics are there, and it's just somebody that I wanted to be a part of his story.
And he actually cares about,
Yeah.
the quality on plus size women. And that's the one
Yes.
thing I've noticed by looking at his clothes
Yeah.
and just meeting him that one night. I was
Yeah.
like, I feel the energy. And I was
Yes.
like, yeah, I got to get you in here too. We need to
Yeah,
hear,
no, you
we
need
need to
Jim Lee
hear
over
your
here.
story.
Yes,
We
yes.
need to hear
I
your story. And
know.
one thing I was loving when I looked at your clothes, because for some odd reason, I love y'all tour, but y'all done plaster the girls all over flowers. Like I don't want to. I
Oh,
don't
the prints.
the
Yes,
floral
yeah.
print. They just
Mhm.
think that every big girl want to be in print, and I don't want to be in
Wow.
print.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, no, no. Not over there. There's some prints, but for the most part, solids is I feel like his wheelhouse. And he also collaborates with another brand to cut the fabric so that like as many pieces are getting produced at once, and so
Good.
that there's not two different brands using the same cutter. It's just saving money, saving the environment, and all that jazz. And I love that. But he is always looking for feedback. So if anything doesn't fit, he's always like, "How? Why? Tell me." Like, and he's like, "I will make the changes in the next production."
I love that. I
So
love that.
yeah, it's been a really cool journey to be a part of. Mhm.
All right, your personal. So would you say like dibbling dabbling into
Mhm.
Livid?
Mhm.
Would you say like you're adding your personal style into them?
No, I don't really have a any say in the fashion and the styling
Okay.
and the design. We have talked about possibly doing a collab where I
Oh,
come in and I do
yes.
like a line, which I would love because on my tail end of career since I was starting to design a little
Good.
bit.
Okay.
And because like I told you when I was little, I used to constantly be
Right.
designing. Yeah. And so that's a huge part, but I know that my style is not for everybody. I am very eclectic. No, I wouldn't say very eclectic. There's definitely people that are bolder than me, but I like to stick out like a sore thumb. I like
Oh,
to be the
cool.
only person in the room that looks like me, dressed
Love
like
it.
me. I'm like big into summer bold colors. Like
Mhm.
I'll wear a neon blazer, no problem.
No
Like
problem.
that's my
Mhm.
style, you know. And it's like I don't do a whole lot of jewelry, but when I do, it's like very tasteful.
Very subtle.
Yeah, and I mean I wear glasses, so my glasses usually reflect I have like 10 pairs, you know, so different
I love it. It's
outfits.
the big bow frames. I
Yes,
really, really love
yes.
it.
I just love it
Mhm.
because I also have such like a tiny little head, like a little peanut. And so it's like big glasses make me feel like, oh yeah, I'm like bold and I stick out. So yeah, so I would say that's my style and I would love to bring that to Live It at some point with maybe a collaboration. But for right now, it just stays in my closet.
Oh, I look at she's like, "It's my
It's just
closet. When I
me.
bring it out, and that's just what I do."
Yeah, when you see me, you see me.
The
Okay.
personal style,
Yes.
the being a writer, being a model,
Mhm.
because runway model.
Yes,
Did
runway.
you really like what was it like with you being a runway model? Because I've seen you do some things, like you modeled for Renee Taylor,
Yes.
and she's
That
one
was
of
my
the she's
girl.
yes,
Yes.
she's
Shout
one
out
of
to
the girls when I
Renee.
was like
Yes.
"Oh, I love her designs." Like, look at
Yeah.
that
Yep.
strutting.
Yeah.
So, like, you opened the show?
I think that show I opened. I modeled for her so many times, honestly. And shout out to Renee. She's always been such a like a dope fan of mine. You can
Mhm.
shop her styles in Vegas right now. She has
Yes,
a
yes.
storefront. And so yeah, but I modeled her so many times. I probably opened this one if I went first. I honestly probably did. But yeah, so I was doing LA Fashion Week pretty much every season.
Nice.
What should there be a plus size brand, right? Because
Yes.
for a while it was like lots of plus size, like there's
Yeah.
3, 4 different, you know, and then one year there'd be none, and then one year there'd be one, and it's just like so unpredictable
Yeah.
on how many plus size designers would show up to LA Fashion Week or participate.
Right.
And runway was cool. I just love being on stage, so it's like I'm a real I don't know what to call it, but it's just another sense of performing for me.
I know
Yeah.
as of being an actor, it's like turning it
Yeah.
on.
Yes, it's
Like
a
being Sasha
character.
Fierce, it's like turning it
Absolutely.
on.
Yeah, mine is Soleil. Soleil Slay.
Soleil Slay, I love that.
To be on
Soleil
the
Slay.
stage. But yeah, so I've done runway, I've done e-commerce, I've done
Mhm.
fit modeling as
Mhm.
well. I feel like I've run the gamut. I've done commercials, I've done kind
I'm
of
loving
everything.
it.
Yeah.
So the acting too as well.
Mhm.
I've seen you've done some stuff in like reality television. I believe
Yeah.
you was on 25 Words or Less.
Yes, I was on this game
Mhm.
show called 25 Words or Less. I've been on the People Puzzler with Liam Remini. I did that more recently. There's one with Jay Leno I did. Girl, I've been doing game shows for the past like pretty much since I started that, or like also talk shows. I was on The Doctors, I was
Uh-huh.
on The Real for a couple episodes. It's just like wherever I could get seen, I'm trying to get seen, you know.
No, I get it. It's all
'Cause
part of the work,
you
you
never
know?
know who's watching. It's like so interesting when these shows air, like my DMs light up. It's like I get new followers, I get
Mhm.
new people they're like, I saw you, I'm so drawn to your energy. I love your
I love
I
it.
love your vibe.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like that is what I want, you know, those followers that are there for me.
Genuinely in you with your vibe.
Yes,
And also
yes.
your baby. You
Yeah.
wrote Colorblind, a very short, right? No?
No, no,
You
no,
just
no.
acted
I
it.
just acted in it.
Oh my God, I'm so in tune
No,
with
no,
your
no.
writing,
I
girl. I'm
know.
just
You're so
thinking like,
sweet. No. So this one is a writer named Troy Netta.
Mhm.
This is her baby.
Shout out to Trinetta
Troy
for
Netta,
writing
love you,
Colorblind.
girl. She
Okay.
wrote Colorblind, and yeah. So she casted me. We had an audition process last, I think November it was. And yeah, it was so fun, just a cool experience, kind of like similar to a girl's vibe. One of our
Mhm.
friends is dating a white boy, and half the team doesn't like him, and half the team is like, why not?
Oh,
You know, it's just a beautiful story about interracial dating. Which I was like, I would love to be a part of this. And I originally auditioned for like the more buxom vixen role. And then she was like, I think I have a different role for you. And so then she put me into this more like Black power, like, you know, feminist and like
I love
just
that.
a more vocal role that's like very adamant on like rights for people. And so I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
So we did that, and that came out great. And might actually be on Tubi right now. I'm not sure, but I know she was trying to get it on
Shout
there.
out to Tubi, because it's always some stuff on Tubi.
Yeah, always
You be so surprised. You be so surprised with Tubi.
Yes.
So I heard them mention that you are a married girl. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. How long, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been married?
Of course. I will talk about it all day. So we just hit 5 years, November 10th.
Shout out to the 5 years.
Hey. So we hit 5 years, and then actually we just hit 10 years since our first date in December. So he's basically been my LA journey too. I actually felt that at our wedding. I was like, maybe I didn't need to be here for my career, but I needed to be here to find him.
Yeah. To find love.
Yeah. And so that's my boo. That's my bae.
Where did you guys meet, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind. So I had just lost my job at DSW. I was struggling. It was Christmas. And my mom was like, if I buy you a ticket home, you're not going back to LA. She was like, it's a one-way ticket. And I was like, well, don't buy it. I'm going to stay out here, Mom. Get me a job, and I'll just go on dates for food. And so I started on OkCupid and Tinder, and I was going on all these dates for food, not going nowhere with nobody.
You're like, I'm just freaking hungry.
Feed me. And he was one of the last ones. And I was just like, it was like a breath of fresh air. It felt so different than all the other ones that I was like, I need to see you again. Yeah. And it's so funny because it was around Christmas time. It was the 19th. And I think like the 21st it was like a weekend. We went to the club, me and my girls. And I blacked out, but she was like, girl, you were twerking on Santa saying, I just met the love of my life. And then I married him. So I was like, yeah, that's my babe. And she's like, this isn't going anywhere, Santa, but I just met the love of my life.
She's like, just to let you know that I just met this guy.
It's just a dance, baby. It's just a dance. But
that is too cute. Oh my God.
Yes.
And I love, like, it's crazy because I tell everyone, and people mainly don't believe me or whatever. I'm like, you meet the love of your life on accident.
Yes.
When you don't even want it.
When you least expect
or you're just not even looking for it. They just kind of like drop in your life, like, beep.
But I will say I manifested him. So I had been doing a manifestation workbook, and one of the prompts was my dream partner. And I had written out all these things, and then it said, folded it up, put it somewhere where I wouldn't see it. And about 3 years into our relationship, we had moved in together, and I was going through stuff, and I found it. And I was like, he marked off every single box on that list.
He was like, I'm keeping him.
Yes.
I will fight off any girl I need to. I am keeping him. This is my man.
Yes, that's just like my number one fan. I just told my mom, I was like, he's my number one fan because he has on like one of those shirts that's just me all over it. It's Charvelle. And so she was like, no, I'm your number one fan. I was like, you birthed me. That doesn't count. He chose me. That's my fan. He's basically an extension of me. He is the fan. He's the number one fan. But he's honestly my number one supporter. I probably couldn't do much of what I do. Like the short film I produced this summer, he was integral in every part. He was in it. He was helping me. He financed it. He was just like, whatever you need. Like, and he's just always been that way. He's just, even without seeing what I was capable of, he's just been like, I know you're destined for greatness, and I will help you however you need to be helped.
Oh, I love that.
And so it's just been,
to find somebody that's like pushing you also and just like supporting you. It's crazy because when I found out that most of the curvy girls, you guys are in love and you find love and then you get married, that's inspiration for most girls, even girls like me. Some girls need to see that because they feel like they have to down their self and their worth to like find love. And I'm like, nah. Yeah. There's somebody out there for everybody, and they will love you for who you are and support you.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and because we were talking about earlier, like the late bloomer, I was like, oh, my person is going to take me a long time to find him. But it was like, no. It was like I started kissing, and then it was like, oh, here's the love of your life.
That is amazing. Oh my God.
But yeah, so but yeah, no, it was really cool. And he had just gotten back. So I had just hit 1 year in LA, and he had just gotten back a few months before from living in Africa for 2 years.
Oh, damn.
And so he was new to the game, like had broken up with his ex during his trip. Like he thought he could do long distance with her, and he couldn't. And then, so yeah, it was just like the right time, the right place. And he lived actually in Long Beach, and he drove all the way up to Hollywood to see me. I was like, I don't have a car. I hope that's no problem. And he was like,
you gonna come see me, right?
Right. He said, not a problem. And he was there like almost 4 days a week. And so Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
he
was just
really was
like,
into you.
oh, we was into each other. Yeah.
So he's such amazing
Yeah.
writer, actor, model,
Mhm.
wife, just like the whole package. You're like setting it down.
I try.
You are doing the damn thing,
Thank
girl, and
you.
I'm here for it, and I'm
Thank you.
supporting it.
I appreciate you.
When it comes to the plus size community, I have to
Mhm.
ask this: what do you want to see more of?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really good question. I want to see more diversity of faces.
Yeah.
So I right now I'm the leg model at Torrid. So it's like if you buy leggings or shorts,
Yeah.
like or tights or socks, like it's probably shot on my legs. Um, but it's like they'll shoot other models throughout the day, and it's like it's always the same faces. And I'm like, can we spice it up over here? Can we it's like I love, like, don't get me wrong, like Tabria has been a pioneer,
Oh yeah. Shout
and
out to Tabria Majors.
Candace Huffing, like
Yeah.
pioneer. And it's like I love these girls and I love that I can see them almost on every website. But it's like there are so many plus size models that could be getting work. And we could
Yeah.
be sharing the wealth, I think, across the board a little bit more
Yeah.
than we're doing right now. And it's just like, yeah, so I would love to see that. I would love to see also more range. It's like, I get it. When you pull for a photo shoot, because I worked in the back end, like I know you pull, it's easier to pull all one size.
Yeah.
But just do half and half, pull two different sizes, shoot two different bodies.
Yeah.
Instead of one page of your website is all one size, the next page is all one size. It's like, it would be cooler to intermingle, I think.
Yes.
And I know there are some brands that are doing that. It's a time thing, it's an investment, and I get that. But I think if you make the investment in showing different body types to different women across the world,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to reap the rewards of that. It's like if a woman sees something on a 3X body, but she's maybe a 1X, she's like, well, I don't know how that's going to look on me. But if she can see it on both, then she's like, oh, that's me. Okay, bye.
Oh my God. They have, I think, who brand is it? I think it's Savage X Fendi. It's starting to do that with Fit Match.
Yes.
It's that little scanner
Yes,
thing.
yeah.
And
You
they
see
like
it on the different,
on the different shades of bodies. And I
Yeah.
was like, all brands need to do this because it'll help people online shop
Absolutely.
and just like shop a little better without having to pray and be like, I hope this fits.
Yes. And also don't use AI, use a model.
Yes.
Please.
Please.
Use a model.
Our dollars are please begging you, please.
Yes. Yeah. So those are the main things I would love to see in the plus size world. But I think also, and I know we have a few pockets here in LA, but just more community events. It's like if we have, it's so small. It's so small. So when we get together, we have such a good time. But it's like I'll go to one event one day and then another event the next day, and it's two different groups of people. And I'm like, why are we not all together?
All together.
Why are we not all hanging out?
Yeah.
So I would love for more events to come through.
Mhm.
Maybe it's city by city. I know, like, shout out to the Curvy Fashionista.
Hey, 15 years, you guys.
Like,
Curvy
she
Fashionista,
did that.
15 years.
Yes, she's been doing that. So it's like, that's what I love. But it's like, she hasn't been in LA for a while. So I'm like, we need somebody to cultivate. And I know the Plus Bus has been doing a lot of that.
Yeah, they have.
A few other organizations. And so it's like, okay, more. And so that's, I think the last thing I would love to see for the community.
I agree with you. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I think it will bring us together. It will stop the division
Yes,
within
the
our
division
community
we're
that's
talking about.
starting.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but I was just like, okay, no.
Yeah, it's weird.
We're different. And I just hate that the community is because of society likes to put us all into this box.
Right.
Just like,
yeah,
no shame to it. Like, you're this, you plus size is on like flat stomach, big butt, and like you have to be tall and statuesque. And I'm like, no, there's the average plus size woman that is under 5'8", that is, maybe chubbier, rounder.
Yeah.
There's so many diversities of plus size, so don't divide us. We're all one hat. We're just a little different.
Yeah, because that's the nature of humanity. And it's like, it's constantly, in every aspect of our lives, we're constantly being asked to check what box we fit in.
Yeah.
It's like, especially me growing up multiracial, it's like, are you black or are you white? And I'm like, I'm both.
I'm both,
What do you want
okay?
from me?
Okay.
And it's like, let's stop with all the check boxes and let's just be. Let's enjoy each other. Like, one thing I've been learning as a tarot reader, I've been doing it for almost 5 years now, and it's like, we are so connected more than we even realize. Like, we're just going through the similar struggles and hurdles and journeys and celebrations, and everything is so connected. And we have been so conditioned to not reach out, not to celebrate each other, not to see each other's wins as our wins as well.
Yes.
And I think that I know that there's a shift happening. We're entering the age of Aquarius, but yeah, so it's just like I'm excited for that shift to really take shape because it's going to be so beautiful for everyone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Your words so amazing. I can see how you can convey that onto paper.
Yeah. Oh, a movie you say?
Oh my
Did you want a
God.
movie about that?
If you can have a message to any of your fan base, because
Mhm.
I don't think you know maybe how big your fan base is, because like how you say, like, you was shocked that I walked up to you.
Yeah, it
Sometimes
was.
I think we work, because
Yeah.
I didn't have the same thing. People be like, oh my God, I love your content. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, damn, I just do that shit for money. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, to hear that, I know it
Yes.
makes you feel good inside. Any message you have to your fans
Mm.
or anybody that's following you.
I would say a few things that have gotten me through. Never give up. When it's hardest,
Mhm.
it's the end. It's the end of the hardship. And so if you can get through that hardest bit on the other side is exactly what you need and what you want. And I would also say be flexible. Be really flexible because I couldn't have gotten some of the things and jobs I've done without being open to it. You know, you have to be able to go with the flow. I think a lot of people, especially we're in Los Angeles, they move to LA. I want to hit this mark. I want to do this by this, and I'm going to be here by then. And it's like, if you're just present in every moment, willing to receive whatever is coming to you, what you seek will find you. It's when you start forcing it and trying to be here and do this by that it's like things start not working out, and then you start getting disappointed because they're not working out,
Right.
and then you start doubting yourself because they're not working out. And it's like, why is it not working out? Because I'm not showing up. I'm not being present in the moment. And so I would say be flexible and present in each moment. Something that I'm really learning and cultivating right now. And I love you.
Oh my God. Such good
I
words.
love you.
Yes, so good words. Let the
Yes.
world know you got any shout outs, any more projects and things you got coming out.
So Sweetness, we talked about Sweetness a little bit. Sweetness is coming out in January. I haven't picked a date. I want to do a big premiere in Hollywood.
Woo!
But we'll probably be in a few film festivals coming up, and I'm really excited for that. So you can stay tuned into my Instagram at the Charvelle, and I will always post the updates there. That will also be attached with an Indiegogo page, so that we're going to fundraise to make the rest of the show. So we have 7 more episodes that we'll make, and we'd love for people to donate so we can make it at a higher caliber.
Donate, people. Help the community.
And let's see what else. Tarot readings. I'm always available. DMs are always open. If you would like a tarot reading, feel free to hit me up. I'm, as you can see, a gentle person. I'm all about positivity and movement forward, and that is what I bring to all of my tarot readings. I feel like I specialize in first-time readings as well.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm really gentle. I'm good for people who have never maybe had a reading before come through. And you can find that on my personal page as well, but I do have a separate page for that. That's Siren Says Tarot. And yeah, shout out to my husband. I love you. Shout out to my sister. Thank you for always believing in me as well. And my parents, Teresa and Nigel, and also my in-laws, my new family, who also celebrate me and support me almost every day.
I love that. It's just so much love, there's so much support. I just want to say thank you so much for coming onto the platform.
Thank you for having me.
It was, oh my God. When you agreed, yes, I was like, I was like, whoa, the pressure is on. It's on.
I love it.
The pressure is on.
Never pressure, always joy. That's where I lead. Yeah, I figured that out with a life coach a long time ago. My purpose here in this life is to bring joy. So it's funny when people are like, oh, I was scared, or like, I thought you were going to be mean. I'm like, me? Never.
I know, I never.
I love people. I love talking. I love communicating because, like I said, we're also similar, connected. And I love that connection.
No, I love that too. And I feel like it was a vibe though.
Oh, 100%.
Too. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to interview her.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming on to the platform.
You're so welcome. Keep it up, girl. You doing it too.
Thank you.
Yes.
She gonna make me cry.
We need this content. And so thank you.
You know, I do it for our plus size girls in our community because we need more podcasters and things like this. And for y'all to get your voice. And the reason why I bring y'all onto this platform so your fan base can get a more intimate of who you are. Because sometimes I feel like it's misconstrued with social media.
Oh, 100%. It's curated, right? That's my life curated.
Yeah.
I've had people like cut me out of their life because they're like, oh, well, things are really good for her.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm depressed. I'm lonely. I need a friend, and here you are abandoning me in my darkest moments because you saw that I did a photo shoot. Like, that's
I
nothing.
needed that to pay my rent.
Yes, like, that is nothing. Please hit me up. I need friends.
Girl, I can sit here and talk to you all day.
Same.
Thank you
girl,
so much, Charvelle, for what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Keep going. We here pushing you. We here to support you from our community. And thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in, you guys, to She Is Plus Size Beauty Sundays. And we will see you for the next episode. Thank you. See you guys later.